What's going on, y'all? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Matthew De La Rosa. For those that don't know, I'm the owner and operator of NJ Healthy Heat. In today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about my journey from high school baseball all the way to professional baseball. It's a question I get asked a ton by my athletes and then a lot of people that follow me online. So I wanted to spend today to talk about that so you guys kind of know the ups and downs, ins and outs that go through traveling through baseball and everything that you can expect. So if you're a parent or a player just looking to get that insight, this is going to be a great video for you. So, I was fortunate enough to get drafted and played 4 years of professional baseball with the Baltimore Orioles. But prior to that, I mean, it was a long, uncertain road that I had to climb. In high school, I was very undersized. I had the skills that I needed to succeed, but never really took the weight room seriously, never really took nutrition or anything like that seriously. I kind of fell into the boat of like, hey, if I'm good enough, these scouts will come see me. And I graduated in 2012, and so social media was just hitting the scene. So it really wasn't what it is today, where you post videos online and people come see you based off of like that. It was a lot of word of mouth still, and email was still big, but a lot of like who you know, what connections you have. So I really relied heavily on my travel ball and high school coaches, which now when I look back is probably not the best strategy that I could have done. My mom, she helped me a ton with my recruiting stuff, but she was new to it. Nobody had ever gone through it. She wasn't an athlete. My parents weren't athletes. My brother didn't go play college sports or anything like that. So I was kind of the first one to go through that process, and we didn't really know what to do. So we just kind of, again, relied heavily on people who had gone through that and just trusted that they would help get there. Looking back, I definitely should have done way more work and sent way more emails and just been a little bit more prepared, asked more questions. But again, just a young high school kid trying to play sports, just figured if I'm good enough, they'll come find me. So high school seasons, high school years, this is what it kind of looked like for me. Freshman year, I was a primary shortstop, played freshman baseball, did well. Then I went into sophomore year. I was on the freshman team. Sophomore year was a great year for me, unexpected. I made the varsity team, worked through, sitting on the bench to becoming an everyday starter at third base. And then I moved over to second base, and that's where I would play the rest of my high school career, even though I was a primary shortstop. After sophomore year, I began to get some confidence, moved into junior year, started to become a little bit more of like the face of the program almost, and started to become a little bit more confident in doing more things on the baseball field that I hadn't done in the past. Started to win some awards, started to be recognized, but even still, that wasn't attracting college coaches. And then going into my senior year was really really tough. I played summer baseball with an organization called the Austin Wings, and the Austin Wings had heavy ties into a lot of the good programs in Texas. Texas University, Texas State, Texas A&M. I was seeing guys from all over the state come to play for this organization, so I thought I was in the right organization. And by no means do I think that the Austin Wings were a bad program. They did as much as they could, but I relied heavily on them. I thought that they were going to make calls for me, but I didn't even call them to ask them to make calls for me. I just thought it was a part of what we signed up for. Like, hey, they know that I'm trying to go play college baseball, and that was just me assuming that they had, time and they were going to make time to make those calls for me. I didn't even call and ask them anything. So again, I 100% take full responsibility for my own recruiting journey, but this is just for you guys out there. Like, don't rely on people to do that stuff. They got plenty of other things going on. If you're in a big organization like the Austin Wings, I mean, there was hundreds, if not thousands of players in that organization, and they're trying to keep tabs on everybody, trying to help them along their journey. So, you got to do everything that you can. And I tell kids all the time, if you get help from the outside world, whether it be your trainer, whether it be your high school coach or your travel ball team, that's just gravy on top of like the work that you should already be doing. So long story short, didn't get a ton of help there. Played in some great tournaments, got seen, but again, just didn't have, I kind of lacked the physical side of the game that I needed. I was, graduated high school at 165 pounds. So Wasn't the most physical guy, but definitely had the skills to field a ball, hit a ball, throw a ball, things like that. It looked really, really good. It was just, hey, you're kind of slow and weak. And so if I could go back to talk to my younger self, one of the things I would do is I'd prioritize, strength and conditioning and get bigger, faster, stronger at a much earlier clip than I did in my own playing career. So going into my senior year, I did not have a single offer. I was starting to go to like some camps, but I was kind of desperate, just like grasping at straws. And I told my coach, my high school coach, Connie Cochran, shout out Connie Cochran, who's kind of a legend in high school baseball, that I wanted to play. And I think he made a call to a junior college that a former player had attended. He had really liked it, and I think they had built a relationship because that guy was the kid who went there, just happened to be a good player and a good person, so there was a good relationship there. So that coach ended up coming to watch. It was Cisco Junior College. That coach ended up coming to watch me play around February, maybe March of my senior year. They just happened to be in Austin as their school was playing a team just down the road. And so prior to their game, he came over. We were playing at like noon or something on a Saturday or a Friday or something like that. And he came and watched. And I'm not going to lie, man, I was super nervous. I knew that there was a scout in the stands specifically there to watch me. And like, if you've ever had that, that's a different feeling, especially when you kind of know that like, this is almost it. Like it's super late in the season. And I did not have a good game. I made some errors. I was trying to force some things. I don't think I had a hit. But luckily that coach saw, some potential in me and saw, some ability that could be taken to the next level. So long story short, he ends up giving me an offer to come to Cisco Junior College, which ended up being, we're the number one team in the nation that following year. But it was a small scholarship. It was 25%, the lowest amount. It's a junior college, so it's a 2-year. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm chasing baseball as far as this thing will take me. I didn't really give consideration to schools just to go to school. Like I was going to figure out a way to play college baseball, whether that was walking on somewhere. I didn't know really what the next moves were, but I'm super thankful that I got that offer. But I was going to chase baseball as long as I could because I knew that there was something inside of me that had not yet been, brought to light, and I knew that I had much more to give to the game. And so I go to Cisco, and it's a huge wake up call for me. If you've ever played, junior college baseball, or you're thinking about playing junior college baseball, it is the real deal, especially in that conference. That conference is, nationally recognized as one of the best conferences in all of junior college baseball. I mean, we had dudes on our team. Our starting 4 pitchers all ended up playing professional baseball. We had dudes getting recruited to Texas A&M and all over the place, man. So needless to say, I did not play my freshman year. I got there again at 165 pounds. I was immediately put on like the weight gain program, and I really had to hit it hard and figure out how to match up with some of these guys who were on their second year of college. Some of them were on their third year of college. How am I going to stack up? And it came down to the weight room. So I ended up hitting the weight room really, really hard and eating the cafeteria food, doing everything that I could. And I went from 165 to about 200 pounds. I was our backup shortstop, backup second baseman, and backup third baseman. I was what's known as a defensive replacement. So that year, I probably played in a total of 8 innings, and they were all basically late in the game. We need defensive help, and we're going to pull our weakest infielder out and put Matt in there to, make the plays that need to be made in order to win the game. So after that freshman year, I try to think about what I'm gonna do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back to Cisco, and the guys in front of me. One guy just went to UT El Paso, which is a D1 school. The second baseman went to Texas A&M. So I was like, okay, if I can come back and just play my sophomore year, I can go to one of these big schools. And I guess God had a different plan for me. I ended up going away to play in college. In college, you play summer baseball. And so I desperately needed to go play summer baseball because I didn't get any real reps throughout the freshman year. So I went to this league called the Carolina, Virginia Collegiate League, CVCL, up in North Carolina. And our home stadium happened to be Lenore Ryan, which is where I ultimately committed to. I went up there, had a great summer, ended up becoming an all-star on that team, ended up winning Defensive Player of the Year on that team, and the coach for Lenore Ryan at the time, Tom Fleenor, basically told me like, hey, I want you here, and quite honestly, we need you here. We want you to be a guy who's going to be a cornerstone guy and help us build this program. And I'll be honest, I said no a bunch of times. I was not prepared to move all the way up to North Carolina from Texas, and I did not want to leave my family like that. And I had aspirations of playing, big time college baseball at Texas or Texas A&M or TCU. And whether I could have made that happen or not, TBD, probably not. It's probably some delusion that I had. But that's where I was mentally at the time of like, hey, I can still make it to a big time D1 if I just go back to, this number one JUCO and perform. And I'll never forget, Tom Fleenor, the man that he is, he looked at me and he said, hey, is your goal to play Division I baseball, or is it to play professional baseball? And that was really the first time that I thought that I could really play professional baseball. I think every kid wants to play professional baseball, and like you think about it, but nobody had ever told me that I could play professional baseball outside of my parents and myself thinking it. So for him to be like, hey, I think you could play professional baseball was a huge vote of confidence. So I was like, dang, if this guy thinks I can play professional baseball, like maybe I can come in here. And then a sweetener on top of it was that he was going to get me next summer into the number 1 or 2 collegiate league, however you view it. I think there's the Cape Cod, and I ended up going to play in the Northwoods League, which is a highly touted, collegiate summer league. So that made my decision a little bit easier when I knew like, hey, I'm going to come in, I'm going to start as the shortstop, and like this dude believes I can go play professional baseball, and he's going to put me in the top summer league. So like even if I don't get seen at this school that I'm at right now because we're a Division II school that's not really getting much national recognition and nobody's really coming to our games, then hey, I can go play in this summer league and I'll be seen by a ton of MLB scouts. So I go there. I think, to be honest, that I'm better than everybody else. Coming from Texas, coming from the South, south of North Carolina. The North Carolina's still south, but go in there thinking I'm hot shit, and really I'm not. I haven't done anything. I haven't proved anything. I haven't done anything in college to say like I am worthy of being the man. And I get humbled very, very quickly. I have probably the worst year that I could possibly have in all of college baseball. I hit, I think, 220 that year. I make a bunch of errors, and I'm absolutely crushed. My dreams of playing professional baseball seem to be so far away. I'm so far away from my family, and it's just not what I had signed up for. This campus was super small. It's 2,000 people, and again, just not what I had envisioned for myself when I thought about my baseball career in college. I thought I would be at this big school, having so much fun, a lot of people, big time games, and here I am in North Carolina, Hickory, in a school that nobody's heard of, playing in front of 12 people, and I'm sucking. And so that was a big, big hit. And so then I went I had to wash that, and then I went to Green Bay, Wisconsin to play in the Northwoods League with the Green Bay Bullfrogs. And again, if you don't know the Northwoods League, it's stacked with dudes who are all over the country, come from big time D1s, dudes who are, JUCO guys that are looking to get drafted in the middle of the summer. So there's some really, really good baseball players. I wasn't even close to being the best baseball player on my team at that point. I go there, and I'll tell you, this is what taught me the most about baseball this summer. You play 65 games in like 72 days or something like that, or 60 games in 65 days or something like that. It's just a lot of baseball. And it was the first time that I was playing every single day. And that really, really helped flush my mind, because I was somebody who used to get really upset. I'd make an error and I'd let it eat at me for days at a time. Or I'd strike out 3 times in a game, and I'd let it eat at me for the rest of the week until we played another game. When I started playing every single day, and I started realizing that, like, hey, I'm throwing at bats away on day 2 because of what I did on day 1, it really helped change my mindset of like, hey, I got to flush all this stuff that just happened and I got to move on to the next pitch. And it really gave me that next pitch mentality and next at bat, and hey, I'm going to get more ground balls, and hey, I'm going to get more opportunities. And that confidence really, I believe took my career to the level that I was able to take it to. And so then I go back to Lenore Ryan after a summer of, summer ball in the Northwoods League. And then from there, I thought it would get better after that confidence. And then I come back and I struggle again. And I'm like, man, what is happening? Like, I just really thought I was coming in my own. And here I am struggling again. They brought in a new shortstop. So I moved over to third base. And by game, I think like 6 or 7, I had been replaced at third base by a freshman. And I'll never forget it. I'm sitting in the bullpen at Francis Marion. We're playing like a 3-game round robin against some teams, and I'm just like, dude, like this might be it, man. I just got replaced by a freshman. I'm sitting in this bullpen by myself, like as a relief pitcher now. Like, am I just a relief pitcher? I don't really know what's happening. And that dude did well. And I had to fake it, and I had to pretend like I was super happy, and I was happy for him. I was just more mad at myself for, not living up to my opportunities. And that was a very, very low moment for me in my baseball career at the age of, 21, maybe I was 20 or something like that. But definitely calling home, probably crying, saying like, dude, I can't imagine like that this is happening to me. So lo and behold, I keep working, and I get another opportunity, and that I would say is the moment that my career did change. Once I got that opportunity again, I was like, dude, I'm not looking back here. Like, I want to play professional baseball, and I know that in order to play professional baseball, I have to do some things that I was not doing in the past. And so here's what it is. I'm going to commit to going to the cage. I'm going to really focus on my strength and conditioning again. Like, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to take extra ground balls. Like, whatever I need to do to play professional baseball, I will do. And that led to me kind of exploding and starting to become the player that I always knew I could be. That year I ended up as a all-conference third baseman. I hit a couple of home runs, and like that really started to kickstart again the confidence that I needed. And that's really what all this message comes down to, is just overall confidence in myself. I think I wasn't really confident in my playing ability. I valued it on how I did on the field, and it wasn't until I started to get success on the field that I started to feel confident in myself. But really, I could have just been confident in myself all along, whether I was doing bad or doing good. It really didn't matter how I viewed myself. I didn't need the external validation in the grand scheme of things. It helped, definitely, and it's always going to help when you're playing well. You're going to feel better about yourself. But even when I didn't change the skills that I had. It just, the mindset that I had changed, and that I think took me to the next level. And then I go back to the Northwoods League after my junior year, and I start playing again in the same Northwoods League. I play against guys like Pete Alonso. I play against guys like I don't even know. I can't even remember those guys, but guys like that, right? And so I have a okay summer. Wood bats always. I struggled with wood bats, but I got on the mound for the first time for that team, and I was sitting like 91 to 93, and they were like, "Oh my God, like you can pitch a little bit." So I take that pitching confidence back with me to Lenore Ryan. Go back to Lenore Ryan. For whatever reason, my starting shortstop that year, his arm kind of gave out, so he had to move over to second base, which positioned me back into shortstop. So I go back to shortstop, and I have the best year that I could possibly have, like literally the best year. I knew that I was starting to get some recognition from the pro scouts, but not a ton. And I knew it was going to take a huge year, my senior year, in order to get seen. So I remember actually before that season even started, I went and I wrote on my refrigerator on like a little whiteboard. It said MLB or bust. And it was just a message to myself that I had to walk by every single day that said like, this is a real opportunity. While it might be small right now, it is an opportunity. Like, you might not ever get this again. So everything you need to do this year needs to be focused around making it and getting drafted. And so that's what I did. I hit more on my own than I ever had. I took the extra reps at shortstop that I needed to take. I went to the weight room by myself to do some things. I lifted harder. I lifted with the strongest guy on the team and made him my lifting partner, all for the chance to go play, professional baseball. And so after my senior year, I, set a school record for RBIs in a single season. I hit, I think, 10 or 12 homers. I play really good defense, and I'm starting to get these letters from pro scouts saying, like, hey, we want you to fill out these questionnaires. Like, we're very, very interested in you. And if you don't know about the draft, like, it's tough to take a position player out of a smaller school because you don't really know where they stack up, because they're not playing. I'm not playing like, the greatest competition. I'm not playing Vandy's, Friday night guy. I'm playing random schools at random towns, and the level of competition definitely is not there. So it's tough to be seen, and it's tough to, kind of figure out where you stack because you're not playing, the top elite competition. But scouts, they get paid. They got a job for a reason. They can see through, all of that and figure out if you've got enough skill sets and tools to make it at the professional level. So I go to a couple of pro workouts, and one of the pro workouts I go to is with the Orioles, and they have me hit, they have me run. I remember at one point I was trying to be a catcher because I was a left-handed hitter, and they wanted me to catch. And then they also had me pitch, and it was pitching, honestly, that caught their attention. During college, I had been clocked at around 99 miles an hour across the infield. I had pulled down some, 3-ounce and 4-ounce balls well over 100 miles an hour, and I definitely, sat in the low to mid 90s when I did, pitch in the few innings. If you go look at my stats, I think I pitched in all of 8 innings in college baseball. But after I threw for them, I threw really well. I think I sat, anywhere from 93 to 95 with a good curveball and a decent changeup at the time. Not anything that, I'd be proud of, but enough for them to see something. And so I do those workouts and I go home, and like there's this time period in between like college season ending and the baseball draft. And I wasn't playing, college baseball that year or summer baseball that year. I didn't have a job lined up. Even though I had an opportunity, I graduated with an accounting degree. They were setting up accounting jobs for everybody in my class. And I was like, no, I don't want a job. Like, I want to go play baseball, and I'm going to see what happens. So rather than that, I kind of took the time in between graduating college and the draft to just like keep working out and seeing what happens. And the day of the draft came, and I'll be honest, like it was very, very stressful for me and my family. I knew I wasn't getting drafted on day 1, and I knew I wasn't getting drafted on day 2. Day 1 was round 1 and maybe the supplement round. Maybe it was round 1 and 2, and then day 2 was like round 3 through 10. So I knew I wasn't going through there. I knew I was going from round 10 through round 40, which is day 3. So day 3 comes, and I don't recommend this if you're going to be somebody that gets drafted and you don't know where you're going. Not a fan of just sitting by your phone or listening to the radio or the calls come in. Like, it's very stressful. I recommend going to do something, but I didn't know. So I just sat there all day with my family. We had it was just me, my brother, my mom, and my dad. And we just sat there and listened to every draft pick go by, like one after the other. And it's super long, and like it's starting to get towards the end, and round 20 passes, round 25 passes, and then round 28 comes, and here comes the Baltimore Orioles, and I'm just thinking like this is my best chance of getting picked is with this team. They seem to have the most interest in me out of everybody. Every pick that went by was just another like gut punch, and I was like, man, this has to happen soon. And very fortunate and lucky to have gotten that call, and I'll never forget it. Round 28, pick 841, Matthew De La Rosa from Lenore Ryan University, and at that point, it was just a huge weight off my shoulders, man. Everybody in the room just like we celebrated. It was super exciting, and it just made everything that I had been through so much sweeter. It just the road, the journey, everything that it took to get to that point was worth it. And I think as I get older and I realize, what baseball has meant to me, it would have still baseball would have still been worth it and meant it whether I got drafted or not. But in that moment, it definitely felt like all of that work had paid off, and I was, going to be living out my childhood dream. And that to me was the most exciting thing that could have ever happened in my baseball career. And, I was fortunate enough to play for 4 seasons. I'll get into that in another video, but this is just kind of my, 25-minute now. I'm looking at the clock, the journey of all that it took to get in there, and it's not a linear path. It's not exciting every turn. It's not growing like this. It's a ebb and flow of heartbreaks and gut punches filled with excitement, and it's very, very tough, and you have to have people in your corner that are pushing you constantly. My family was a huge advocate of me chasing my dreams, and they were huge to lean on and help with what I needed in the support area. And if your son is going through that, I recommend just being there for him, because it's a very hard and lonely road. Even when you do have people around you that are supporting you, it can feel very, very lonely, especially if you're a kid who goes across the country or to different states. So for those that have stood here and watched this, or sitting and watching this, I appreciate you listening to my entire journey. I hope to make more videos like this to kind of share the ins and outs that go through baseball, because again, it's provided me and my family with so much, and I'm so grateful to the game. And I want to help as many kids and families as possible, and I believe that by sharing my unique experiences, this will help open up more conversations, more thought into a potential athlete's future, and that could be the difference between them sticking it out and making it like I did, and or giving it up maybe after their senior year without any offers or anything like that. So my biggest message is to always believe in yourself. There's if you want it, like you can make it happen. I truly believe that if you have the talent, that definitely helps. But there's a opportunity out there just waiting for you. It might not come as easily as you would like it to, but if you're willing to work at it day in and day out, it's definitely on the table for you. So my message that I leave everybody with is make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. So I hope who's ever watching this, you have a great day today, and you take another step forward towards achieving your ultimate goal, whether that's playing professional baseball or becoming a great husband or whatever it may be. I do again appreciate you watching this video, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next ones. And continue to come back to this channel, like, subscribe, whatever it may be. But this is going to be some of the content that I start posting. So if you liked it, again, leave a comment, like it, whatever it may be. I appreciate y'all. Coach De La, make it a great day or not. Choice is yours.